Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from whenever you're watching this channel. I'd like to start this session by appreciating you so much for making this channel grow. If you wish to support us, just subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. There is this talk about what the First Lady, Mama Rachel Ruto, said. And when he invited Benny Hinn to preach in Kenya. So there is word that the invitation is going to be fully sponsored by the government of Kenya.
The Controller of Budget called out on wastage of public resources.
In September last year, President William Ruto made the tough decision to cut this year's 3.7 trillion shillings budget by 290 billion shillings.
First Lady of Kenya flew from Nairobi with her team, just for one reason, to ask me to come back to Nairobi for a nationwide, government-sponsored crusade. Now, we haven't had that in a long time, where the First Lady of a nation comes and says, we want to hold a crusade sponsored and supported by the government.
That has already been talked about in several other platforms. So you remember yesterday, there was people responded to this issue from all quarters. So one, Dr. Ezekiel Mutua, also weighed in on this debate, and through his ex-handle, he shared the following. So what if the First Lady, Mama Rachel Ruto, invites Benny Hinn to preach in Kenya? She's a Christian and she's pushing God's kingdom agenda the best way she knows how. Other First Ladies who support other ideals push their agendas, some including LGBTQ, and no one makes noise about it. Let's not make a mountain out of a molehill. So this is what Dr. Ezekiel Mutua said. But as usual, Dr. Ezekiel Mutua tweet did not sit well with so many Kenyans. And mind you, let me be honest, before I even read to you the response that was given to that tweet. Kenyans have reacted negatively to that invitation, because the fact that the government is going to fully sponsor Benny Hinn's worship here in Kenya, that tour. Benny Hinn comes with a team, and during the time he'll be here, there will be a lot of expenses you're going to be taken care of by the government of Kenya. So Kenyans are saying that is not necessary. I mean, it is not necessary to simply invite someone for a crusade, and that crusade be sponsored by the government of Kenya. So many Kenyans have decried that call, despite the fact that people know that kuomba is a good thing, but people have decried this call. So I will ask you something about that call from Mama Rachel Ruto, but first I want us to go through some of those reactions to what Dr. Ezekiel Mutua's tweet was all about. So one famous, Gabriel Oguda, said, "No one makes noise. Aren't you Deputy Jesus reincarnate, who used to ban films in Kenya for having content? You are rescinding your message, considered unconventional. But if you wanted to lick Ruto's shoes, you could just have converted into a towel and stayed in his bathroom." Okay. Dr. Ezekiel Mutua is also again saying that Kenya will meet the cost of the crusade does not equate use of government funds. She meant Kenyans will sponsor the crusade. And then another tweet from Dr. Ezekiel Mutua, which is a bit shocking, goes like this: "Na tuliwaona, see your life." So, you know, I've gone through those tweets so that you can get to understand something regarding what Dr. Ezekiel Mutua said and the reactions. But the funny thing about these tweets from Ezekiel Mutua is that the last tweet, he talks about Natuliwawon. See you alive. Natuliwawon. Ezekiel Mutua is telling people Natuliwawon. Is it that people are warned against voting for William Ruto? Because that's what I make of this. Natuliwawon. I want to remind you that Kenyans have for not once, not twice, or thrice reminded the government that haikuchaguliwa ili iende iombe watu, ilichaguliwa so that it can deliver. That has always been the case, ladies and gentlemen. So that they can deliver, not because of prayer. There's a time there was I read a newspaper, I think it was somewhere there in March, whereby there was talk that in State House every Wednesday watu watakuwa wanafunga. Then there's another time Kimani Chungwa attempted to bring a bill that would ensure that parliamentarians sponsor the weekly prayer rallies. The weekly prayer rallies, but I think parliamentarians refused. They denounced that bill because it was not making sense to them. So they said, no more. We can't allow that. Someone also said that, is it really necessary to invite Ben-Hinn? Or could they just have invited even Pastor Ezekiel here, invited Kanyari to pray? I mean, we all know that the US supports LGBTQ. And most of those pastors, they support that. So the reason why Kenyans are crying is because they find it pretty absurd that someone like Ben-Hinn is being invited to Kenya. So Sasa, it is just a matter of time. Let's just still wait for that arrival of the pastor or the televangelist, Ben-Hinn. Let's wait for that because he is coming at the invitation of Mama Rachel Ruto. So we expect even Rigathi Gachagua's spouse to be there. Probably even Musalia Mudavadi's spouse. We've never seen him go public on this kind of prayers. But then, since Musalia Mudavadi is the third in command according to the hierarchy of Kenya Kwanza, then I think it's just prudent that even Elsie, that is a spouse to Mudavadi, shows up in that event. Na probably pia aombe tu na wenzake. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to raise my case there, but just go below the comment section there and tell us what you think about Ezekiel Mutua's tweet. Because Ezekiel Mutua is trying to vindicate Mama Rachel Ruto from this blame or accusation that bringing in a televangelist, Ben-Hinn, and all the expenses will be catered by the Kenyan government. So, ladies and gentlemen, take a moment and give your comment below the comment section there. And also you can subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And those people who have supported this channel by subscribing to it, I want to tell you here that I'm forever grateful for your support. Without you, this channel cannot grow. So until you catch up again, please stay safe and stay blessed.